All of that training, all of that sacrifice, and it all comes down to this, the Olympics. Most of us can't imagine what the athletes are feeling right now, so we got some insight from an Olympic diving legend.
If you go back and check the athletes' calendar, this is the day that they've had marked for the past 3.5 years since Tokyo. And I think the biggest thing is it's a roller coaster of emotions. So if they are able to take it one step at a time and manage how they compete and approach their training, then they'll do well.
David is now making a splash outside the pool as a coach for Team USA, which presents new challenges for the veteran competitor.
For a coach, it's different where you don't really have a lot of control. You can plan as much as you want and put together the perfect competition set and the perfect amount of cues to help the athletes think about what they're going to do on their dive. But ultimately, it comes down to it. It's up to the athlete to implement that. And so I think that's probably the most difficult part of coaching is knowing what is most helpful for that athlete in those high pressure situations. Strategy is just like every other competition we've been to the past 3 years, whether it's World Championships or Olympic Games, it doesn't change. And so taking it one dive at a time and managing your emotions, that's the strategy.
While teams are thrilled to have fans back in the stands, David is most excited to inspire people watching from home to start their impossible.
Boys and girls across the country, even grown adults, they'll see the Olympic Games and be inspired by them and want to do that for themselves. And that's where dreams start. One particular ad I'm excited about is Elise Willoughby, who's a Team Toyota athlete with myself. You'll get to see a spot on her for Start Your Impossible, and her little story might spark someone who's training in Wyoming to want to go to the Olympics in 20 years. And I think those are the special moments, I think, for me that gets me excited for the Olympics, is impacting just the younger generation.
And David was inspired by his mentor and is now filling his shoes at Purdue.
I recently became head coach at Purdue University. Not the most ideal circumstances, where Adam Soldati, who coached me to my first Olympic medal and then ultimately Olympic gold, was diagnosed with ALS and had to step down earlier than thought. And so stepping into that role, there's some bittersweet, because that's something that I've wanted, but not in this circumstance. And there's been a learning curve, and trying to fill the shoes of Adam is going to be impossible. But I've always said I'm going to step right beside him and continue his legacy. But I think one of the hard things is about ALS is the financial burden that's potentially happening with this kind of diagnosis. And so I think one of the coolest things about my opportunity at the Olympic Games is to promote Adam's GoFundMe and hopefully share that and get some support for the Soldati family.
You can keep up with David and Team Toyota on Instagram.